Is Washington State failing to provide enough funding to Whatcom County to run the water rights adjudication here locally? Hi there, I'm Fred Likkel, Executive Director at Whatcom Family Farmers, with this week's edition of the Fred Talk. So a recent article in Cascadia Daily News did a really great job of outlining the concerns that we've actually had for quite some time about the funding issues related to the adjudication. So in the last budget that came out from Washington State, Whatcom County asked for significant funding to help run the adjudication. As well they should, because state law says, and I quote, they are required to pay for the extraordinary costs of an adjudication when they hoist it on a local jurisdiction like Whatcom County. But unfortunately, that isn't what happened. So what we saw was that Whatcom County asked for about $4.7 million total for a variety of things related to the adjudication. In the end, they only received $1.4 million. They had significant reductions in areas like facilities, staffing, and technology. That got reduced by well over half. Those are concerns. How are we going to run this adjudication without those? As the judge pointed out, in technology, the current system isn't even handling the sheer number that we have of claimants out there. This is going to be an issue. They significantly reduced funding for technical assistance for all the many people that we have that have received these claim forms and now need to fill them out. That got reduced by 2/3. How is this going to work? How are they going to help these folks out? Even bigger still, funding got completely eliminated for a couple of really key areas that would help. Collaboration. We all have talked about the fact that at the end of the day, we're going to have to get together and discuss collaborative solutions together. They asked for funding there, they got none. They also asked for technical assistance funding. I think of about $1 million there and got zero of that. That would help us figure out ways that we're going to get through this problem. So how is Whatcom County going to work this? This isn't going to work well at all for us. And this comes after we've had some increasing questions coming from our group and from others as well about what exactly has ecology been saying about this adjudication and what it's going to look like. Keep in mind that back when they first were talking about an adjudication, they said there'd be only 15 to 20,000 people. Only 15 to 20,000 people. Well, as the judge reported earlier this week, that number is now up to 35,000. That's double to what they said initially. They also said it would only take 10 to 15 years. 10 to 15 years, it's been over a year since we started this. As the judge reported, 4 judges in an average year work with 6,000 claimants like this. This one has 35,000, and there's 1 judge working on it. Maybe 2 if we get the funding. Maybe 2. And we haven't even started with discussing things like pre-trial motions. There's some big questions that are going to get answered. 10 to 15 years? Somehow I highly doubt it. Sadly, this leads us to 3 outcomes for our farmers and for others out there, and this is what it increasingly gets frustrating. First of all, we're most likely going to see a slowdown in the process. If the money isn't there, if the technology isn't there, if the staff and support isn't there, chances are we're going to see these timelines and dates continue to move back, and we'll continue to not see solutions happening. Secondly, the adjudication gets run by Whatcom County, not Washington State, and it's possible that those additional costs could get hoisted on the community. Whatcom County's facing a budget crisis just like Washington State is. That's going to be a problem. But third, and probably the most sadly for me, is that I think we're going to see additional costs hoisted on our community, these 35,000 folks that have been sued. At the end of the day, they're going to be the ones that are covering this cost, and that's where it gets sad. Because what we're seeing out there right now in multiple meetings where people have been discussing this is people are sad and they're angry and they're fearful. They don't know what to expect of this. This has caused a lot of unrest and chaos. We need our leadership to step up to help provide. If you're going to hoist an adjudication on us, something this chaotic, this big, you need to help provide the funds to get us through it. Thank you for listening to this week's edition of the Fred Talk.